It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. The Council of Ministers, chaired today by the President of the Republic, reviews progress on reducing port waiting times and streamlining import processing. Details shortly with a full statement from the Presidency. President Abdelmajid Tebboune offers deepest condolences to families of National Army martyrs who fell in the line of duty of Inti, praying God to welcome them in His vast paradise and grant their families strength and patience. Water security remains a state priority. Closer look at the Foucault 2 plant inaugurated by the President of the Republic on Saturday. Major General Zohir Ghouila officially installed as Air Force Commander in a ceremony led by Army General Spotlight on the tribute by Tunisia's Timimi Foundation for Scientific Research to Ahmed Al-Talib Ibrahimi, prominent figure in national politics. All right, welcome back, everyone, to tonight's news. And we begin it with this meeting as the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chaired a Council of Ministers meeting today. The agenda included progress on reducing docking and cargo clearance times for imports, expanding the fiber optic network, and monitoring domestic consumption of gas and petroleum products. Following a briefing by the PM on government activities over the past 2 weeks, and after hearing presentations from ministers, the President issued the following directives. On industrial projects, the Minister of Industry was instructed to expedite the reopening of the Adwar cement plant recovered by the state in corruption-related cases by the end of March 2025 to create jobs and boost local cement production. The completion of all technical procedures for launching the Jilfa cement plant was ordered, and the President also directed the finalization of all necessary steps to commence operation at the Kitama oilseed crushing plant in Jijil by the end of May. On university grants, the President gave initial approval, increase in student grants, pending discussion in the next Council of Ministers meeting. On energy consumption, the President emphasized the importance for foresight and energy efficiency, urging in-depth studies to optimize energy use while maintaining increased production and investing in emerging energy sectors, in particular green hydrogen and solar energy, given Algeria's vast potential in these fields. He called for a structured approach to safeguarding purchasing power while expanding energy investments and combating waste. And on energy fiber optic network expansion, the President highlighted the link between digital infrastructure and overall development, noting Algeria's self-sufficiency in fiber optic production. He urged continued investment in quality improvements and on port operations and trade facilitation, recognizing the strategic importance of ports to the national economy and sovereignty. The President directed the adoption of new monitoring mechanisms to secure and enhance the efficiency of these vital facilities. The meeting concluded with the approval of decrees and decisions regarding appointments and dismissals in senior state positions. And following the death of 3 soldiers from the road security unit of the National Gendarmerie after being swept away by floods in Inti, the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, extended his sincere condolences and deepest sympathy to the families of the People's National Army martyrs who lost their lives while accomplishing their national duty in Ain Larba in the province of Inti, praying God Almighty to welcome them in His vast paradise and grant their families strength and patience. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return. Following the severe weather conditions that affected the province of Inti, 3 soldiers from the road security units of the National Gendarmerie in the 2nd Military Region lost their lives this morning. They were swept away by the floods while performing their duty at the level of the National Road number 101. They are Assistant Badawil Abdul Qadir, First Sergeant Jarrou Sharif, and Sergeant Juha Burhan. To this effect, Army General Saad Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the National Defense Minister, Chief of Staff of the PNA, extended extended on his behalf and on behalf of all the personnel of the People's National Army his sincere condolences to the families of the deceased, praying God Almighty to grant them mercy and welcome them in his vast paradise and grant to their families strength and patience. To God we belong and to him we shall return. And we're back to yesterday's major event that comes under the strategy to build 5 major desalination plants. Yesterday, the Phuket 2 plant was inaugurated by the President. It is actually the second to be inaugurated just after a few days since inaugurating the biggest water desalination plant in Algeria in Oran province. Phuket 2 has a production capacity of 300,000 cubic meters per day, and it will certainly reinforce Algeria's water supply and ensure sustainable water independence. Melissa Lila Balaman.
This marks the second seawater desalination plant inaugurated by the President of the Republic within just a few days following the Oran plant, which officially became operational last Thursday. This initiative reflects his commitment to ensuring a reliable supply of drinking water to citizens before the start of Ramadan. During the inauguration, the President of the Republic attended 2 technical presentations on the Phuket 2 desalination plant delivered by the CEO of Sonatrach, Rashid Hashishi. These presentations outline the project's key details and the various stages of its completion. With the daily production capacity of 300,000 cubic meters of drinking water, this facility is part of a national program approved by the President of the Republic to construct 5 large-scale desalination plants across several coastal provinces. Developed using national expertise and cutting-edge technologies, these projects are designed to strengthen and secure the country's drinking water supply.
من قاموا بهذا المشروع وكل من شاركوا في هذا الإنجاز الضخم، إنجاز الجزائر المنتصرة بالأخص من عمال ومهندسين ومسيرين بصفة عامة. كما أشكر القطاعين، قطاع الطاقة وقطاع الري وسوناتراك بالطبع على هذا الإنجاز الضخم هذا. الحمد لله وين وصلنا كما قلتها سابقا. في كل خطوة تخطوها الجزائر اليوم أنا نقترب شيئا فشيئا من ولوج إلى ساحة الدول الناشئة بفضل الرجال والنساء اللي قائمين برفع التحديات في كل قطاعات.
The President of the Republic emphasized that the plant was built to high technical standards, ensuring a sustainable supply of drinking water to citizens while preserving water resources for agriculture.
300,000 متر مكعب يوميا، 300 مليون لتر يوميا بربح أراضي في البحر. احنا ما فيش إلا التقنية نتاع التحلية، في كذلك تقنيات أخرى ما دام المساحة كانت ضيقة وباش ما نمسش المساحات الفلاحية اضطروا باش يربحوا مساحات في البحر. وهذا يشير إلى احترام أولا الأراضي الفلاحية، احترام الأراضي الخصبة، وفي نفس الوقت تلبية حاجيات المواطن.
The President of the Republic also highlighted that the decision to invest in seawater desalination made 3 years ago was a strategic and forward-thinking move. Thanks to this initiative, Algeria has made significant progress in meeting a substantial portion of its citizens' drinking water needs.
نكمل هذه السلسلة نكون وصلنا إلى تلبية جزء كبير من حاجيات المياه الصالحة للشرب، حاجيات المواطن. الحمد لله أن وفقنا الله أن وصلنا، بدينا منذ 3 سنوات في التفكير في تحلية مياه البحر، وهو حل صائب إن شاء الله. وبالنسبة للمناطق الأخرى كذلك نسيب لها حلول حتى إن شاء الله ما يعرفش الجزائري ولا الجزائري ما يعرفوش العطش إن شاء الله.
The President of the Republic hailed the vital role of the workers in bringing this monumental project to life, underscoring that these achievements reinforce Algeria's leadership in seawater desalination, driven by a visionary and integrated approach aimed at securing long-term water independence and sovereignty. At the end of this visit, the President of the Republic engaged with the plant's workers and technicians before posing for a commemorative photo with them, an enduring symbol of this historic milestone.
And on behalf of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Army General Saad Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the PNA, presided over the installation ceremony of Major General Zubair Ghouila as the new Air Force Commander, succeeding Major General Mohammed Al-Araba. Najah Tayyar reports.
After the welcoming ceremony, the General observed at the entrance to the headquarters of the Air Force Command a moment of silence in memory of the martyr Amirouche 8 Hamouda, commander of the historic Province 3, whose headquarters of the command is named after him. The General then laid a wreath in front of the memorial stele of the martyr and recited the Fatiha in his memory and that of the valiant Shuhada. Then the General proceeded to inspect the squares of the executives and personnel of the Air Force Command before announcing the official installation of Major General Zubair Ghouila in the functions of Commander of the Air Forces, replacing Major General Mohammed Al-Araba. The Army General said in his speech that, on behalf of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of the National Defense, and in accordance with the Presidential Decree of 17 February 2025, he officially installed Major General Zubair Ghouila in the functions of Commander of the Air Forces, replacing Major General Mohammed Al-Araba. Also, he ordered to work under his authority, to follow his orders and to execute his instructions in the interest of the service, in application of the military regulations and force and laws of the Republic, by showing loyalty to the sacrifices of our valiant Shuhada and to the values of our glorious revolution. The General then presided over the ceremony of handing over the national flag and signed the minutes of the transfer of power. During his meeting with the executives and personnel of the Air Force Command, the General delivered an orientation speech which was broadcast by video conference to all Air Force units, in which he mentioned the exploits of Algerian diplomacy, which were achieved thanks to the judicious orientations of the President of the Republic, Supreme Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of the National Defense, at both the regional and international levels. The General added that on this occasion he'd like to salute the active dynamic that our diplomacy has recorded recently in execution of the judicious orientations of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of the National Defense, mentioning that this has allowed Algeria to strengthen its presence at the continental and international level through remarkable activism within the UN Security Council in its capacity as a non-permanent member, but also through through the increase in its representativeness within the mechanisms and organizations of the African Union, and this in consideration of the importance given by our country to its African depth. He went on to say in this same vein that the military diplomacy has recorded a strong dynamic reflected in the reception of numerous high-level foreign military delegations and visits made to several countries as part of efforts to strengthen the bilateral and multilateral cooperation relations with friendly armies, likely to strengthen our defense apparatus and enable it to meet the security challenges facing our country, in light of the geopolitical changes that our sub-region is experiencing. At the end of this meeting, the General wished all the personnel of the Air Force Command every success in the accomplishment of their noble national missions in the service of the security and stability of Algeria, and this before following the interventions and listening to the concerns of the executives.
And on behalf of the President of the Republic, Prime Minister Nadil Arbawi will begin a working visit to Hassim Saoud in the province of Ouargla on Monday to oversee the commemoration of the 69th anniversary of the founding of the General Union of Algerian Workers and the 54th anniversary of the nationalization of hydrocarbons, marked annually. The PM will be accompanied by Minister of State, Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energies Mohamed Arqab, Minister of Labour, Employment and Social Security Faisal bin Talib, and Secretary General of the General Union of Algerian Workers Amar Taqjout. And on the eve of this anniversary, we are highlighting Algeria's major projects in Hassim Saoud, including gas compression and condensation stations. Driven by Sonatrach, the country embraces advanced technology to boost production, enhance exports and ensure sustainable resource management. Melissa Lila Balaman explains.
Two energy forces rise from the heart of our desert, rich in natural wealth drawn from deep within the earth. The gas compression and injection station, alongside the liquefied gas station, stand as key milestones in Algeria's energy sector, which continues to expand productivity capacity through an integrated strategy focused on boosting both output and export.
Sonatrach strives to meet this demand by supplying the agreed quantities through contracts signed with various international clients.
It is no surprise that we are in Hassim Saoud, the energy capital, a cornerstone of the global strategy for optimizing petroleum resources and natural gas production. These two major projects are a testament to its strategic importance. The station's primary function is to compress gas to extremely high levels for injection into wells as gas lift and high-pressure gas. Sonatrach prioritizes advanced technology across its operations, enhancing efficiency and productivity. These initiatives reaffirm its commitment to innovation, ensuring more effective processes and long-term sustainability in the energy sector.
Recently, all facilities have been upgraded for better control of the plant. The high-speed pump plays a crucial role in optimizing the production.
Today, Algeria is actively enhancing its energy sector through strategic initiatives, including expanding exploration, increasing exports, adopting renewable energy, and reinforcing environmental sustainability.
On task by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and as Algeria's representative, the Minister of War Veterans, Al-Aidr Biga, attended the inauguration ceremony of the Commander-in-Chief of the Nicaraguan Army, General Julio Cesar Avilas. The ceremony was presided over by the President of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega, and Co-President Rosario Murillo. The event was attended by representatives from various countries and accredited ambassadors. On this occasion, Minister Biga congratulated the Commander-in-Chief, emphasizing that Algeria's participation reflects the strong historical ties between the two nations. The Ministry of National Defense, in collaboration with the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, is hosting the third edition of the regional seminar on sampling and analysis in highly contaminated environments. Led by national experts, the seminar brings together over 40 African trainees and will run until February 26. Najah Tayyar has the details.
During his keynote speech, the Chief of Staff of the National Gendarmerie thanked the organization for the prohibition of chemical weapons for its initiative in organizing this third edition, before adding that the event was a part of partnership between Algeria and the OPCW, which has seen quantitative and qualitative development in the recent years, notably through the INCCGN status as a designated OPCW laboratory in July 2024, and the OPCW The Hague Award in November 2024, thus confirming that Algeria continues to develop its technical operational capabilities in the field of protection and assistance against chemical weapons, notably through the organization of regional exercises such as the multi-component exercise Shemex Africa, held from September 24th to October 4th, 2023. In addition to that, the Executive Secretary of the Interministerial Committee for the Implementation of the Chemical Weapons Convention underlined that the main objective of this third edition of the regional seminar is to promote assistance and protection capabilities against chemical warfare agents as first responders and responsible for sampling and analysis operations in a highly contaminated environment in the event of a chemical attack or incident, in accordance with the provisions of the Article 10 of the Chemical Weapons Convention. The seminar, which aims to enhance the knowledge and skills of specialists from African states bodies and promote South-South cooperation in the field of chemical emergencies, will be organized around 5 modules, namely sampling, personal protective equipment, decontamination and analysis of hazardous chemical agents, as well as the medical aspect of first aid in the event of a chemical attack. In addition, practical sessions will be held at the National Institute of the Criminalistics and Criminology of the National Gendarmerie in Bouchewi, where a guided tour of the new OPCW designated laboratory will be organized for the OPCW representative and all seminar participants.
And in recognition of Algeria's diplomatic approach based on resilience and resistance, the Tunis Science and Technology Development Foundation honored the war veteran and former diplomat Ahmed Talib Ibrahimi. The ceremony, attended by intellectuals, academics and journalists from Algeria and Tunisia, underscored his enduring influence in international diplomatic events. It also served as a moment to reflect on the shared struggle of both nations for independence, development and partnership. The second vocational training session of 2025 kicked off today. Over 300,000 new training opportunities available across various programs. From Blida Province, Minister of Vocational Training and Education launched the new academic year and reviewed a detailed sectoral briefing. He also oversaw a model entrepreneurship course, followed by via video conference by trainees nationwide. For the first time, registration was fully digital through the Takween platform, allowing more than 250,000 to enroll. In the occupied Palestinian territories and in a clear breach of the deal, the Zionist occupier delays the release of the 7th batch of Palestinian prisoners on Saturday, despite the agreed timeline. The agreement stipulated the release of 620 Palestinian detainees, including children. However, the Zionist occupier delayed the release even after receiving 6 of its captives as scheduled. And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.